Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 126th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is never mind. Let's just
it's
let's throw it in the bin. This one's not worth it. I've been doing so well with those.
126. You have been. You need to complete it. Come on.
All right.
There's not been an episode where you haven't completed it.
The 126th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me, as always, is my friend, co-host, and a bit of an early morning recording buddy, Frederick.
I'm just an early morning recording.
I mean, relative to our normal recordings, it's not that early. It's like 9:30 a.m.
It's not that early. It's 9:20 right now, but you know.
But we both kind of got that morning gravel.
We do. I'm feeling sexy. One joke.
I'm feeling Morbius, new trailer. We'll talk about it in the news.
I'm feeling Dune.
I'm feeling a hand. There we go. We went through them all. And by them all,
right.
I mean 4 of millions. So
I mean, and by 4, I mean fake mustache.
yeah. God, I did note a few episodes ago that like maybe we should try to be more accessible and give a little more context to the inside jokes, but also no. If this is your first episode, I'm so sorry.
Well, the thing is, whenever they start, I do think there is context, but then we just keep going.
True.
So if people miss an episode, then they don't get it. Which, in fairness, why would you ever miss an episode, you idiots?
Which, in fairness, yeah, shame on you. That's
Shame
your
on
fault.
you for not getting. What a joke.
Yeah, I love it when my entertainment shames me for not understanding it. That's really just Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Today we have
You should be ashamed of yourselves.
a little mini reviews and news episode because we were going to do a topic, but we got a couple of mini reviews, some good news, and then we got 2 big old mini reviews I think we'll do after the news. It's like the big finale.
So just big old reviews, I guess you could say.
Big old, yeah, not even mini reviews. Just big old reviews. That's what the episode should be called.
Big old reviews.
And it's going to be...
It'll take off like the last episode.
Is the last episode not doing well?
Oh, no, sorry. I forgot we posted yesterday. Genuine concern.
I don't think it is really, but that's okay. Yeah,
Is the last episode not doing well? No, the one before that.
The one before that did absurdly well for some reason, by our standards, for the record. I mean, we got like 500 views, but like we usually get like 200, so it's kind of confusing why it like doubled absurdly well. That's putting it a bit generously.
Absurd. It's astronomically
worldwide phenomenon of an episode.
Not compared to our shorts, though. Our shorts are godly.
Well, the Encanto short inexplicably has 6,000 views, which is confusing, but also wonderful, I guess. Anyway, we are doing 2 big ol' reviews at the end, which are, I have to say, kind of an interesting one, because normally this would be annoying and unprofessional and terrible podcasting method, but they are 2 films that we both really want to talk about and have lots to say about, but that the other one of us has not seen. So,
yeah.
I think it could be an interesting exercise in both.
We need to make sure we don't spoil it.
Yeah, no spoilers, and also we can kind of present it to the other and I don't know, yeah, without spoiling it and sort of have a bit of a
I'll pitch you Poirot.
and I'll pitch you the biggest Batman. And yeah, we can kind of just have 2 perspectives, I guess. One from someone who hasn't seen the film. What an interesting perspective in a review.
I like it.
But first off, I also want to tell people to give this podcast a subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a comment down below do that during the episode, I guess, and also hit the like, and if you're listening on the other things, follow and leave a 5-star rating. Also, I know people were super excited for our NordVPN ad read this week that we promised. It's coming next week.
I was just about to... It's coming next week. I was literally about to say, you can cut this out, but... Where the fuck's our sponsor?
That comes next week, I'm sorry. Sorry, Nord. Anyway...
Sorry, Nord.
So, first of all, mini reviews, though. And I have to say, even though this doesn't count as like a full review, this may take a little bit of time in the discussion, so it's probably good we're not doing a topic, because we need to talk about this. We need to have a pretty decent discussion about this movie. I watched possibly the most absurd film I've ever seen in my life. Like,
okay.
jaw-droppingly strange and just perplexing. The King's Man. The latest Kingsman film entry I finally was able to watch. The World War I prequel Rafe Fiennes vehicle. And I cannot explain to you how fucking weird this movie is. It is. Is
it weird in a good way, or are we talking weird as in like Rasputin dancing whilst fighting weird?
See, that was the best scene in the movie. That was a great scene. Rasputin is great. I very much enjoy when the most nutty fiends. I know it's pronounced Fiends, by the way. Get off my fucking back. The most nutty Fiends moment where Rasputin's like, I don't make decisions unless my stomach is full or my balls are empty. And it zooms in on Fiend's face, and he's like, well, thank God dinner's being served. Very good moment. But it's, I don't know if it's...
By dinner, he of course means his body.
He slowly
By dinner, he means that voluptuous booty of his.
So I don't know. I genuinely don't know how to explain how weird this movie is. But it's like, it's weird on some. It's like, it's weird intentionally sometimes, like kind of like absurd. But then it's just like disjointed and makes no sense. Then it's like 8 different movies in one movie. The tone shifts constantly. It goes from this like, I guess I shouldn't spoil it, but it. Like,
give us some light spoilers here.
Okay, well, it shifts tones in that, like, sometimes it's this, like, pretty, trying to be, like, a pretty serious, like, not exactly war movie, but, like, has the tone of a war movie sometimes, like, there's this, like, trench scene and all this stuff, and it's, like, pretty grim, and then other times, it's, like, this fucking cartoon where Ralph Fiennes is trying to climb this mountain, and, like, a goat is headbutting him off a cliff, and then, like, his, like, plane explodes, and his, like, parachute gets caught in a fucking, like, a tree or something. It's, like, so absurd. Then, like, it's this, like, genuinely badass action movie. Then it's, like, this weird family drama. There's one part where Fiennes is so depressed that he's, like, this, like, cartoonish alcoholic where they just cut to him. He's, like, wearing his pajamas. He has this, like, beard, and he's just, like, drinking scotch at every hour of the day. It, like, comes out, like, it's just, like...
This sounds like just the mood changes Rafe goes through every day. Wakes up, it's the trenches. The climb to breakfast is headbutted by a goat. Rest of the day, terrible alcoholism.
Like, I mean, and then it's like there are twists throughout that are great. Like, I mean, that I kind of appreciate because it's very unexpected. But like, certain characters die and just like, fucking, it is. And like the thing is, sometimes it's genuinely good and it feels kind of like. Well, that's the thing. It's also a Kingsman movie. Just randomly, you completely forget it's a Kingsman movie, and then suddenly they just make this like weird reference, and I'm like, they're like, "But manners maketh man." I'm like, Rafe, what the fuck? I forgot this was a Kingsman movie.
Why are you talking to that goat?
There's a fucking. What else is there? There's like, it has like genuinely good bits. The Rasputin stuff is kind of fun. Like the music is pretty great. It has like some cool action, but then also. Fuck, I just left my notes here. Just say cartoon getting on mountain with goat, alcoholic fiends. But then also it has like the thing that also is so absurd is you know it's like set in World War One. So it's like it does World War One history, but puts like Ralph Fiennes in it. It's very so it's like it does the assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Like it's like a relatively
it does a Tarantino kind of thing where
but it's like it's a historically like technically accurate because I remember because I studied World War One not too long ago in like history class, and so I remember like, oh yeah, it's the part where they drive the car and then they hit a dead end and then they turn around and the guy shot them or whatever. But then like it puts these weird twists in where it's like it's this villain who's behind it all, and this like there's this twist villain at the end who has this like league of, you know, evil henchmen or whatever. And then okay, and I have to spoil this. It's it's the cherry on top. The film ended and I was like, well, that was the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen. And then there's a post-credit scene, which is I can't explain how hard I laughed at this because it's just like so basically the premise of the movie is that there's like this league of supervillains that are like historical figures. So it's like Rasputin and then like someone who talks to the German leader and someone who like works with the Americans or whatever. Like there's these like historical villains. And then the end credits, the villains fucking, what's his name? Baron Zemo, the actor, he's one of them, and they're like talking, and they're like, well, I guess we have to find a new recruit or something. And a man emerges from the shadows and like, don't do it. Like, I know what you're gonna do, don't do it. And he's like, what's your name? Adolf Hitler. They have an Adolf Hitler tease in the post-credit scene, as if it's like a Marvel movie where like Iron Man just walked out or something. It's like he's like the camera zooms, he's like Adolf Hitler, and then it cuts to black, and it's like, What the fuck is... I can't...
Damn, that is not the most tasteful
No!
thing to do.
Well, also the comments on the YouTube video
It's like epic music as he strolls in from the silhouettes. What's your name? Adolf Hitler, yeah.
Like the comment section on the YouTube video is also great, where it just says like Adolf Hitler enters, Avengers theme starts playing. Like it's like they just it's the most absurd like setup for the next film to use Hitler in that way. I don't know. Just one of the weirdest movies. I highly recommend you watch it. It like
I do want to watch it.
It starts kind of like a little dull. It's like okay, like kind of generic, whatever. And then it like builds to this crescendo of insanity, but like not really intentionally. It's great.
God, this is probably one of the greatest things you've ever used to describe a movie. A crescendo of what would you say?
Insanity.
Of madness. Oh, insanity.
Yeah, put that on the DVD cover. Also, I love at 9:30.
The King's Man, a crescendo of insanity.
Also, who's in it? And he cuts a man's head off. It's pretty good. But
yo.
Also, yeah, I love my flatmates definitely hearing me yelling about Adolf Hitler and like at 9:30 in the morning. But anyway,
that's classic Ben Mark.
Yeah, they put a piece of paper on my door that says Ben Mark, like hateful message question mark.
Just get the fuck out of the house.
It's a warning to be gone by midnight.
You've been there for 2 weeks now. Nothing's happened.
Yeah. But anyway, go ahead. I've been holding that in for like 2 weeks now. That I need to release.
I'm happy you got it out. It sounds and seems like it's been really like eating away at you.
It has, truly.
I mean, something that's a bit overdue. I don't think we have fully talked about this on the pod. If we have, I apologize.
Peacemaker.
Well, yeah. Did we talk about the end of Peacemaker?
No, I have not seen the finale. I've seen every other episode.
Have you not seen?
I'm so sorry.
You idiot!
I'm so sorry. I
thought you said you'd have finished.
It literally
it by now.
is on my to-do list, but then I don't know, things happened.
I had to watch the Adolf Hitler clip on loop for 2 hours.
But no, I'm sorry. I have not seen the finale of Peacemaker. You can still talk about it.
I will talk about it, you bastard. But also, like, you've watched more since the last time we talked about it, haven't you?
Oh yeah, no, I've watched like 4 episodes since then. So like, I'm 1 episode away.
Okay, we won't talk about the finale, but what are we thinking so far?
I'm loving it. I really am loving it.
It's genuinely, I love the humor in it. I think John Cena is so good.
John Cena, yeah, I didn't know he was this like, I don't know.
Charismatic?
Yeah, like talented, charming, and funny, and good at acting. But like,
I don't want to say good at what he does, because he's not, but...
And also, what's his name?
Surprised.
Vigilante is hilarious, and like...
Yeah, I really love it. I really, really like it. Liked it. It's gone now.
Well, they're doing a season 2.
They are doing a season 2. I'm very hyped for it. I kind of like the whole butterfly thing, because it's not too like it's not the most original thing, but it's not too unoriginal to make it boring, you know?
Yeah, and it sort of, it plays in that, like, the Suicide Squad tone, where it's like a more grounded show, but it's still in that DC superhero world where there's this like, wild, fantastical shit, even though it's a more like a relatively more grounded story.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just that like James Gunn tone that's perfect for this, like this style of character. By the way, quick note. You realize the guy, the tech guy,
is homeless Dave?
Outside Dave. How dare you?
Outside. Fuck. Damn it. That's my bad.
Also, by the way, real quick, could you...
Homeless Dave.
I think it didn't start slow, but like, I liked it, but I wasn't like crazy about it. But then like by like the 4th, 5th, 6th episode, like I was like laughing out loud consistently.
I was laughing out loud. Yeah, like it's not often a show does that to me because I'm a very serious man, obviously. But there was many times where I was sitting there just absolutely just laughing my ass off because it's so funny.
Yeah, and it has like great action. It's a very also interesting character to look at. Like it's not like they take the character from the Suicide Squad and just like try to wipe it away and be like, no, he was always a good guy, even though we saw him do all these like terrible things. Like he is a bad person, but like there's like, reasoning for it and conflict, and like there's like you understand, and like he changes. There's actual growth. Like it's really well written. Yeah, and
I can also say I love the familial feel that is like amongst the group, because there's still like something at stake, you feel, But at the same time, it's not like too serious for you to sit there and like where it clearly does not take itself very seriously, and that kind of like comes across very well, I think, in the group dynamic as well.
Yeah, that's another thing that James Gunn is so good at, is like a team dynamic that, like, you know, of kind of misfits or unexpected people. Yeah,
Yeah.
like in a really funny but also like heartfelt way. I love Eagly.
Mm-hmm. I do love Eagly.
And yeah, Vigilante, like being just like a complete psychopath idiot. Like, I don't know, it's just yeah, it's really good.
It's just it speaks to me.
It's some of the best TV, like superhero TV I've seen in a long time, because it feels original. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like I don't know. I got nothing. It doesn't really feel like there's any dead air.
There's not any like, no like really, no real weak points.
And also every episode ends with like a sort of, not a cliffhanger exactly, but like an exciting twist or setup for the next episode.
It leaves you thirsting for more Peacemaker.
For more Cena. Period.
More Cena scenes, some could say.
You saved it there. I goofed it, and you turned it into an actual point. Well, then I only have one other. I finished the first season of Euphoria. Pretty good. Good show. Very good show. The finale was a bit disappointing. It was a little bit, like, long and kind of, I don't know, kind of kept going longer than I think it needed to. I was also very tired when I was watching, so maybe that also didn't help. I kind of just wanted to sleep.
I was also sleeping as I was watching it, but you know.
But generally very good show, good performances, like interesting story, a little bit I don't want to say like overly dramatic, because that's like a weird thing to say about a drama, but like sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it feels like this very like serious, like interesting show, and then sometimes it's sort of like cartoonishly dramatic. But I guess it's about high schoolers and they are cartoonishly dramatic famously, but yeah, good show. That's all I gotta say.
That's all I gotta say. No further questions, Your Honor. I have got two more. One of them we can quickly breeze by. Okay. I watched Jurassic World once more.
Okay.
You know,
solid
decent. I've expressed my opinions on the movie before.
Are you getting prepped for the epic Goldblum Grant Dern reunion?
I am. I don't even know if I need to see the other movie, like the second one. Do I need to see that one?
You probably should, just for the sake of
the culture.
And,
okay.
Just for the culture, exactly. That's what the culture demands. You watching Jurassic World 2 Forbidden Kingdom, or whatever the fuck it's called.
I thought it was called Dominion.
No, the second one. The new one's called Dominion. I like how I'm criticizing you as if it's actually called Forbidden Kingdom, which it definitely is not.
Is it Fallen Kingdom?
Probably, yeah.
Anyways, who gives a shit?
Why are we talking about this?
So watch that. Decent, you know, not the best film. Kind of takes some of the magic out of it, but all right. Anyways, the last movie is one I watched 1 or 2 days ago. At a movie I have a problem with, a quarrel with. Some could say
a qualm. Do you have a
qualm?
Do you have a qualm?
I've got a qualm.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Let me hear your qualm. I watched Encanto.
Ooh, I have been wanting to watch that for quite the minute.
Well, don't, because it's not very good.
Oh,
I don't like it.
Big controversial.
I think
you don't talk about Bruno.
Is this? Bruno is by far the best part.
Okay, I have no idea who Bruno is. Just everyone keeps telling, and by everyone I mean like these two people. They're like, "Oh my god, I love this song. We don't talk about Bruno," and I'm like,
the actual movie, I don't think it's very good. The main character, she's alright. She's like very generic main Disney character. But then the family, they're just awful. I hate them.
So is it like, and it's about like magical people, but then she's the only magical non-magic person.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, but I mean, not to spoil it too much, but Bruno had a vision, and then he left, and what was the vision about? And then they start blaming her because stuff goes wrong and stuff like that. And the grandmother, who's supposed to be like, you know, like the matriarch and stuff like that, is just the worst person. And like, I get that she's supposed to be like a bad person, but at the end, again, not trying to spoil too much here, but like at the end, when she kind of like, not gets her comeuppance, but like, you know, when things are resolved, you're supposed to like suddenly like her, and it's like, no, you're a terrible person. And the songs aren't very good.
Wow.
I don't think there's much of a plot in the movie. Just
damn.
An all around kind of disappointing Disney movie.
Damn, you really, I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Well, it's because people they're snuggling up to the Disney.
Is it too like kind of generic, like because the trailer
so
made it
generic.
look a little like, I mean, of course it's a kids movie and they're all kind of predictable, but it made it look like exactly like the one person who's like not special, but that makes them the most special, and body.
Yeah,
blah.
it's like the one person who doesn't have gifts, but then she goes and tries to save her entire family, even though there's. It's like, shut up,
damn,
Disney.
Well, I was going. It is on my official list that I now have. That I'm literally the only one that I've watched from that was The Kingsman. So I'm slowly working my way through.
You keep seeing Train to Busan.
Well, I actually have
that list,
I have two lists. One is the modern, like the movies that have come out recently list, and then there's the. It says movies new and then movies old. And Train to Busan is on top of the movies old list. But
it's fairly new.
Yeah. No, I just meant like ones that haven't come out in like the past few weeks. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Right. But damn, so all right, fair. I think
I mean, know me, I love Disney, but this Disney, I mean, I might have been in a grouchy mood. I don't think I was, but it just did not sit well with me.
Fair enough. I mean, this episode, spoilers, and probably the topic next week, was going to be movies everyone loves that we hate, so a fitting tribute to the theme, I guess.
Also, I don't know why I said, ooh, you already told me.
Yeah, I'm like, you knew this. This is a planned podcast.
You as a fool. Oh, well, I will reserve my opinions till then. Well, maybe if you can try and watch it, and then I'll rant with spoilers.
Okay, I'll try to first finish Peacemaker, and then maybe Encanto.
Peacemaker.
Well, mini reviews in the bag. Get that bread. Now on to
Get that bread.
The newses and such.
Okay.
We open with a headline that made me laugh out loud, but also made me genuinely sad. I think you might know what I'm talking about here. It does involve a certain Charles Coxathan.
Oh, wait.
Did you not see this headline?
I don't think so.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna find the headline and just read it to you word for word because it is such a. It's so sad. Okay, this is a tweet from Discussing Film. Charlie Cox says it was, quote, dead fucking quiet during his scene in Spider-Man No Way Home. And another quote from him, I was so disappointed. My wife was with me and she was recording me because it'd be fun to have that moment of everyone cheering. And then ... tumbleweed.
That's awful. No. God.
And they've just used a picture of him looking super disappointed from Spider-Man No Way Home. So
God.
Imagine the Cox showing up and taking his wife. He's like, yeah, the fans kind of love my character. It's sort of a big deal. They're going to be really excited.
I'm kind of a big deal in the episode.
She's recording him. He's sitting there amongst the fans, probably with a little disguise on, saying, I hope I don't get recognized. And then
he's in there, like, the proudest little smile, hope in his eyes.
And then he's seen all the reaction videos on YouTube of like all the other cinemas going crazy, and he's just saying that like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. All my hard work is finally paying off as an actor. This is my moment of validation. And then, quote, tumbleweed. Brutal.
No,
I feel so sorry
bad
because he is a big deal, and the fans do love him, and that was a great moment.
Like in my cinema, people were like, "Oh,
yeah." Well, like, what cinema did he go to? Like, surely Charlie Cox can go to like the premiere or something where like they'll cheer.
He wasn't invited.
Like, did he go to like his local like I don't know. I don't want to say Gintoft to Kino because that's a lovely cinema, but like kind of a slightly like his smaller establishment,
his local like
a local cinema. Damn, I'm so genuinely tragic news, but also it did make me laugh when just the headline Charlie Cox says it was, quote, dead fucking quiet during his scene.
Is the fucking in there as well?
Yes, it is. So I'm sorry, Damn. Charlie Cox. You deserve better.
You know it's bad when Charlie Cox starts swearing.
Yeah, and he just like, and also that he brought it. His wife was filming as well.
I want to see the video of him just realizing that no one gives a shit.
He definitely. The thing is, everyone gave a shit except for in his one cinema. He should have stood up and been like, "That's me. I'm on the screen, you fools."
He should bring his megaphone. Yeah. That up there is me. I'm a really good lawyer. I don't know what my Matt Murdock impression was.
Yeah, anyway, so I'm so sorry, Charlie Cox. You deserve better. Next piece of news. There's a
something I'm asked often.
There's a Michael Bisping documentary coming out. There's a trailer. Kian sent it over because he knows I'm interested in the UFC and the Bisping stuff. So I appreciate that, Kian. Just cool thing. It has Vin Diesel in it also, inexplicably. I guess they work together in a movie. But get excited for that. There is a Morbius trailer.
Morbius.
where he's like, I'm the bad guy, and Michael Keaton's like, you're the bad guy. That's my Michael Keaton impression.
I'm the bad guy, and Michael Keaton was like, you are, and I was like, shit, guess I am.
End of trailer. See Morbius April 1st.
What an amazing team.
Also, we have discussed the irony that a movie for fools is coming out on April Fool's Day, but I just want to point that out.
I'm really excited to go watch this movie.
That's exactly my point. So
that's exactly what I'm saying, boss.
Did you see it? I mean, it doesn't look any different than what we've already said. We've talked about this for so long with every single trailer. Just come out already. Let's just get this over with.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, yeah. Whatever.
I know it's not going to be very good, but like, I still want to watch it.
I don't want to watch it, but I will because I'm obligated to. Because we've talked about it for a fucking year and a half.
It's my job.
Yeah. Then there was a Fantastic Beasts Grindel Dumble Time Sexy Fun Times trailer.
Fantastic Beasts 3, a Fantastic Grindelwald Time.
It does. I mean, the trailer looks okay, but it does intrigue me because there's this like conversation scene between Grindel and Dumble, and I'm very excited for that because I feel like that would be.
Wait, so what's this new one called?
The Secrets of Dumbledore, I think.
The Secrets of Dumbledore. And what was the last one called?
Grindelwald's Crimes or something. The Crimes of Grindelwald.
The Crimes. Yeah, true.
Yeah. Right. But anyway, there's a scene where Jude Law and Mads Mikkelsen are having a little tete-a-tete, and that looks pretty cool. And then they also fight at the end, which does look kind of bad. Like, it doesn't look bad, but it's like this epic battle of, that's like kind of mystical in the Harry Potter lore, and everyone's talking about it. And then it's like, it looks like it's this like generic, like, gray cloud, DCEU.
Is that a big, like, big thing in the Harry Potter lore, is that fight between Dumbledore and Grindelwald?
Yeah. So, like, I mean, that's been, like, referenced since the very beginning. So, like, I hope it's good. And I'm kind of excited. So
the thing is, I'm kind of like, how good can a Harry Potter fight really be? Because all they're doing is shooting beams from a little stick.
Yeah, but at least you can put it in like an interesting location and like, I don't know, maybe also like the peak of Harry Potter action is definitely, I don't know if you've seen the fifth one, but the battle in the fifth one between Dumbledore and Voldemort, where like Voldemort makes a giant fucking fire snake and Dumbledore encases him in like a giant bubble of water and all, like that's like fucking, that's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds cool, but like I
but sometimes
haven't seen that.
But it does,
like isn't when Harry Potter fights Voldemort, it's just like two beams shooting at each other.
Yeah, but I think that worked because it was like the simplicity of it is like the epic, conclusion, and it's like tense and all the music and whatever. But yeah, generally sometimes, especially in these Fantastic Beasts movies, it does kind of just turn to like zappy zap. Like they just like they just kind of like flick the wand and then like a big blast comes out and it's like, okay, that's not really. Also, great quote, they flick the wand and a big blast comes out.
Virgil Hudson sexualizes
Fantastic Beasts, the masturbating of Grindelwald.
What did you say?
You don't want me to repeat it.
I heard masturbation.
I referred to it as Fantastic Beasts 3, the masturbation of Grindelwald. That's it. We can just
I see. Fantastic Beasts 3, Grindelwald jerks off Dumbledore until he becomes Numbledore.
What is
this? Or Cumbledore. You decide.
See, this is the kind of thing I would usually cut out, but I'm definitely going to leave it in, though. This has to say Cumbledore or Numbledore. I mean, they were lovers, so, like, it's possible. There might be an intense handjob scene. The most intimate of acts that can be portrayed on a film.
Imagine that.
It's like supposed to be this like really tasteful
it's like freaking Newt Scamander putting another little tree boy in his coffin or whatever he's got going around, and then it's like, oh, wonder what Dumbledore's up to, and just hard cut Game of Thrones style sex scene with Dumbledore's.
I just love that, like, you think it's gonna build this like really beautiful kind of intimate, like passionate lovemaking scene, and it's just like a wide shot of just Mads Mikkelsen jerking him off. Anyway, this is such a terrible podcast. I'm so sorry. If anyone I know is listening to this, I apologize. Please don't bring this up to me. Anyway.
Oh my god. Jude Law has just got a straight face whilst it's happening.
His pants around the ankles, just they're both sitting across from each other.
No, I reckon they're on a couch.
Yeah. This is getting way too graphic. Keep going.
Sorry. Way too graphic after we already said pants at ankles, balls hanging. Cumbledore in action.
I'm so sorry. Did you see the trailer for Bullet Train with Brad Pitt?
Seamless transition.
Speaking of pants around the ankles, kind of handjob situations, Brad Pitt's latest film.
Brad Pitt's latest train movie. Is this gonna be a unstoppable Chris Pine Denzel movie?
I certainly hope not. I don't think the world can handle another one of those.
I don't think it could either.
Wait, did you not see the trailer?
I did not see the trailer, no.
Oh, it looks great. It's one of like the John Wick guys who also did like Deadpool 2, I think. And it's like Brad Pitt is like an assassin on this train and he has to fight his way around it and all this stuff. It looks really fun. Yeah, it looks like an awesome action movie.
Is he in Japan? Question mark?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
It
looks awesome. I think it looks exactly like the kind of thing, if we still lived in the same vicinity, which we do not, so sadness, but it would be a great Woody movie if that was the case.
When does that come out?
July, I think, or June.
Oh.
So we might be in the same vicinity.
We might have an actual Woody, you know.
Yeah, I have to say, there have been so many Woody's movies lately that I'm just like, damn, what a waste of...
Damn.
The person I'm actually going with, what a waste. It should be you.
What a waste.
I tell them
what
this.
an absolute useless person to go watch The King's Man with.
Then I put this in here just for you, because it actually played before the Patman, which was absurd, but there was a trailer for Jujutsu Kaisen, the movie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And the cinema was dead fucking quiet. I just want to be clear.
Tumbleweed. No, that... I'm so excited for it. It's... When's that? April 4th? Is that when it comes out?
Mm-hmm. Or sometime in like the next couple of months.
Yeah. But god damn, I'm excited. It looks like such a good... Like, the show itself is brilliant. And it is... So this is like an origin story, I think, to the one of the characters in the show, who's not been revealed yet. But... Oh, I'm very excited. Yeah. It looks so good. Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the like better recent animes, I'd say. It's just very good.
Well, as I saw the trailer in the cinema, the only thought I thought to myself was Friday would probably be excited for this. That's all I could think. Well, so
as long as you think of me, then I'm happy.
That's what I think of most times, actually. Whenever I am asked, do you like anime? I'm just like, no, but I have a friend who does. You should.
You like anime? No, but
I have a friend who does a segment. It's not a big deal. And
my friend who's got his own anime intro. It's no big deal. So.
Well, final piece of news, the most important, inarguably, of the week. Did you hear about the Spider-Man fake butt controversy?
What?
You did not?
All right. The Spider-Man fake butt controversy.
From Glamour.com, after Spider-Man No Way Home star Tom Holland revealed that one of the 3 Peter Parkers in the movie was wearing a, quote, fake arse under his costume, the internet has been abuzz with speculation. So, one of the Spider-Men wore a fake booty.
Oh, it's absolutely...
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, I would say.
I mean, look, I hate to be...
I hate to be that guy, but Toby, you're looking worse for wear.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, look, Tom Holland probably wouldn't have said it if it was him.
Yeah,
Andrew Garfield,
also the most fit of all of them.
Well, yeah, Andrew Garfield, we all know. I mean, I haven't investigated that hard, but probably has a great behind. That's a new segment on the pod. Andrew Garfield booty talk. But... which leaves...
It's just about political situations, but it's called Andrew Garfield Booty Talk.
And Tobey Maguire, while I'm sure in great shape, is the oldest of the 3. Also, but then, would Tom Holland rat him out in that case? Because that'd be kind of a dick move. Ratting out a 43-year-old wearing a fake butt. So anyway, who do you think it was? Are we voting Maguire? I was about to say Garfield.
I reckon Maguire. And if not Maguire, Garfield.
Also, I think he may have just said it to stir the pot, because he's a bit of a pot stirrer, that Holland man.
But sometimes not intentionally, yeah?
Yeah. He's a cheeky boy. Cheeky. Hilarious. Now, on to the 2 big ol' things of this episode.
Big old reviews.
I did, in fact, watch The Patman, and you did, in fact, watch...
The Poirot Man.
The Poirot. Probably the best detective in the world. Highly anticipated, I have to say. I mean, we started this pod... making fun of the trailer for Murder on the Orient Express, and now we're here at the sequel.
We're here at the sequel.
So
God.
which one do you want to start
That's
with?
crazy to think about.
I think we should start with the Patman and then go Death on the Nile.
And then go Poirot. All right.
Because
Sounds
Poirot,
good.
no offense, Patman, but Poirot takes precedent overall. So
It does.
the Patman, no spoiler review. I've seen it. You have not. I saw it last night. I've had a little bit of time to.
You have
digest.
like a midnight showing or what?
No, it was like at 7:30, but it's 3 hours, so it ended
right.
at like 11.
I see.
but-
Because the first time like we could watch it was, I think. Oh no, this is 2 days ago. Sorry, my bad. Like on the 3rd, there was a 12:01 a.m. showing,
yeah, no thanks.
which I considered going to, but I did not.
Yeah, but it was packed though.
That's
It
the
was a
day I
full-
watched Death on the Nile instead.
Arguably worth it. But I have to say, the Patman. Again, I haven't read my review, so I haven't really had time to like digest and mull over my thoughts. But my initial reaction lived up to all the hype. I would say.
Yeah.
Really, really, really great movie. Pretty incredible. It's basically everything we talked about that we were hoping it would be, like this like kind of
Cool.
epic, like big scale, interesting, like dark and like exploring a different side of Batman that we've only really gotten like glimpses of in the other movies. It does all of that. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's much more of a mystery movie than an action movie, I would say.
Okay.
It has a lot more
Honestly, a lot more like detecting is done or what?
Yeah, it's a lot more like kind of detective, kind of mob story. It definitely has action, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, it's surprisingly
Damn,
much about
okay.
like this like kind of. It reminded me, and like it's probably just because Paul Dano's in it, who was also in Prisoners. But it reminded me a little bit of Prisoners in the sense that like it is this sort of like unfolding mystery, and like there are like twists, and a person you think was this was actually this, and it's fantastically done. Yeah, it's really compelling and
Nice.
well
Wow, that
written.
sounds so good. I'm so excited.
Well, yeah, it's definitely much more of a noir kind of. I mean, it even has that like kind of noir, like Rorschach type narration where he's like, Monday, September 7th, whatever. I mean, it takes place on Halloween. It's this like detective Batman film that like we haven't really got. You know, we've gotten like Christian Bale being like, this bullet casing was hit the wall at this time, and that means the Joker. But like, it's much more
Possibly
focused.
the best Bale impression I've ever seen.
That's what this whole movie is essentially, and it also
that's
takes a
so good.
much different look at the Batman of like
Okay.
or rather Bruce Wayne, where like he's just this like, again without spoiling anything, just like I think it's in the trailer as well, but like he's not at all a playboy or like a cool guy. Like he's just like this reclusive billionaire weirdo who like when he shows up in public, people are like, holy shit, you're still alive, like. Bruce Wayne, what are you doing here? And he's like, yeah,
See.
there is a little bit of like, I don't know. You could definitely parody this a little bit, like, you know, I don't know. Have you seen the Lego Movie?
I have. I've not seen the Lego Batman movie, but I've seen the Lego movie.
But do you remember in the Lego Movie when like Lego Batman is playing his song and it's like darkness,
Yeah.
dead parents,
Yeah.
like there's a little bit of that where it's like he's a little bit. I thought of this in the cinema and I was really proud of this stuff. Be prepared for like the most well executed joke of all time. Some call him the Batman. I call him the Sad Man. So now I know how Charlie Cox felt when he showed up.
You were sitting there waiting for my reaction. God damn, this is gonna be so good. Some could say no one knows what it's like to be the sad man. The Who starts playing,
But it's somehow still dead fucking quiet. Yeah, but no, there's a little bit of like kind of emo Batman, but I don't know, it works for the movie. Like if you wanted to make fun of it, I think you could, but like I think it works really well, and it's like
and Pattinson, he can't.
Pattinson's great. Circus,
But is he good as the Batman?
oh, he's great, and also even though most of the Batman stuff in this is like kind of detective, like figuring stuff out, it's very the Batman heavy. Like one of the criticisms of like The Dark Knight Rises, for example, is that like him in the actual Batman costume, he's there for like 10 minutes or something like that. Like this one, there's way more Batman than there is Bruce Wayne.
There's a lot of Batman.
Like he's Batman for basically the whole like most of the movie. I also love that it starts like a year or I think it's 2 years into like his Patmanning, so it's sort of, and I really like the world it's set in where it feels like it's realistic, but it's not like like the Christian Bale ones feel like they were trying to be really like real world, or this one like is realistic and gritty, and like I like how like all the cops like, who's this fucking weirdo in this like costume walking around our crime scene, but like it's still kind of cheesy, like it's still kind of movie like. It has this movie esque.
Would you say is it closer to like a Watchmen than it is to the Bale trilogy, or?
Yeah, it's not as much of like a. It's kind of a combination of the two tones. It's not as much of like a dark like satire as the Watchmen would be, but it has that kind of more movie like cinematic element to it. Because it's also this beautiful film. Like the cinematography is amazing. I love like the use of red in the movie, especially they use a lot. There are these fight scenes that use lighting very like in a very interesting way. Like some of it's in the trailer, but like it's like gunshots going off in a hallway, and so you just see like flashes of him beating the shit out of people. He's super brutal, which I love. There's so many bones broken. He just snaps so many people's fucking ankles and shit, and just breaks their arms.
And is it PG, or is it like 15 and above, or what?
It's here it's rated 15. I think it's PG-13, but it's like there's not like a lot of blood, but it's pretty. I mean, the opening scene, I guess I won't spoil it, but like it's just it's just dark. Like there were some kids in the cinema. I was like, you shouldn't be here. Like this is not for you.
You should go watch The Kingsman instead.
It's very educational for historical purposes. It's also, I don't know, I thought it was fascinating that like it does different things with the Batman like lore. Like it takes different turns from what, most people know, but in a very interesting way. So I'm sure some people might get upset about that. But also it's like, and this is definitely not true. Like the Christian Bale ones had this, but it feels like it has not more of an arc, but like it has a really appreciable arc for Batman. Like Batman, like he goes through a noticeable change throughout the film, and he learns a lesson, and it's like, and he grows. It's very compelling, and everyone else is great in it. Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz is great. Colin Farrell is tremendous as the Penguin.
Is he good as the Penguin?
He's great. He's completely unrecognizable, and he does have like one of the few comedic scenes in the film, which is he pulls off very well. It's in a very, very nutty way. Just the action's fucking awesome. It's like, the more I'm talking about it, just the more I really, really loved it. And Paul Dano as the Riddler, fucking terrifying. I mean, not terrifying, just so creepy and like unsettling. And they put a bit of a twist on him as well, where it's like they give it this kind of modern twist, which I guess I won't really spoil, but I thought that was interesting. Right. I mean, cool. I could keep rambling on, but circus is great. Also, circus at one point in the movie says the word circus, which I thought was a great Easter egg.
As I heard that, my mind just imploded.
I was like, that's gonna be my thumbnail. Things you missed in the Batman.
Ultimate fourth wall break.
Circus references.
Top 10 things you missed in Batman. Number 1, circus at one point says his own name, hinting at the fact that he is in the movie.
Just a fantastic movie. The only two complaints I can think of are a little, I don't want to say cheesy, but like a couple of moments are a little bit like movie-esque, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But I didn't really have a problem with that. Like I thought it worked for the tone. Like it wasn't supposed to be like completely realistic. And also it's a little long, which you don't really feel at all until the very end when there are like 5 different endings, Lord of the Rings style. And I'm like, okay, like we can probably
Batman,
wrap this up now. Batman, like come on, get your shit and get out, Batman. My legs hurt. I've been sitting here for 3 hours. But besides that, I would say one of the best superhero movies I've seen in a while. I want to think about it a little more, but really fantastic. So
you want to digest a bit before you give us.
I do. I mean, there's a lot.
But you're happy.
Yeah. So I'd say as soon as you can see it, get out there and see it. Sorry, I realized I just monologued for like 10 minutes, but
no, I love it. I love hearing your voice. It turns me on.
Gives you that Dumbledore.
I become Dumbledore whenever I listen to you.
So yeah, anyway, the Batman, a big win for movies.
Movies. Very nice. So should we address the elephant in the room?
Talk about a man who steps in shit with both his shoes.
Damn, that right there. I want that on a shirt.
Solved the murder.
I'm the kind of man who steps in shit with both shoes.
You saw the Poirot return.
I did. Hercule Poirot. Yeah. Return.
Probably.
Return of the Poirot. What do you say?
I said, probably.
I am probably the best detective in the world.
Not certainly,
But
maybe.
But in this one, I don't mean to spoil the entire movie for you
No,
here, right? But I
don't
have to
say
say
it.
this.
Don't say it.
There's a twist. He has changed catchphrase.
No.
He says, I am the best detective in the world.
No!
He does! Or to like, he fully confirms it. Full fucking, he's rocking the full Monty, just swinging dick.
Because that's how we started. That's the main reason we were like hyped for Murder on the Orient Express is because we were laughing about how in that trailer he says, "I am probably the best detective in the world," and we were like, "Have some fucking confidence,
and now
Poirot."
he's grown up.
He talk about character arcs. Oh my
Oh
god.
no, sorry. And forgive, shoot me dead if this is not what he says when you see it. But I believe he's a little joke, and I mean not a joke, a little Easter egg
What a
slash
joke?
spoiler. But I think you've already seen it. One joke, but you've probably already seen this in the trailer. That Book returns. At one point, Book says, "This is my friend Hercule Poirot, the greatest detective in the world."
Oh.
And Hercule Poirot says, "Oh please, no. Well, yes, I am the best detective in the world."
Hercule with the sass.
Hercule! He's such a little sassy boy.
So is he as sassy this time around? Yeah, how was the movie? First of all, just now like
yeah, sorry. The movie was not as good as the first one, but not bad, I'd say.
okay.
Like it's definitely got I'd say it's easier to follow, I think.
Okay.
Like it, or not follow, but like easier to kind of sit there and try and deduce yourself who did it.
So did you do the drunken?
I did not do that, no. Because it was kind of like, it wasn't last minute, but it was kind of like we booked tickets not knowing if we would actually be able to go because we both had a lot of work. But we ended up going. But so I sadly didn't do that. But might just do that with the Batman instead.
Try to figure out who did it. I think it was the Riddler, you know.
Try to figure out who Andy Serkis is and why he's saying circus.
Damn. So did you figure out who it was?
I'm not gonna spoil this because I will say yes and no.
Okay, it was all of them again, wasn't it?
No, so I will say that it was not all of them again, and
Okay.
I knew it wouldn't be that because
It was none of them.
No one died. It was just a Poirot cruise.
I would still watch that, low key.
I'd still watch the shit out of that. No, but like, yeah, like movie pretty good. Not as like the characters aren't as compelling this time. I think like the last in the last movie, there's like not every character, but like most of the characters you're kind of like invested in. There's a few characters in this one that you're kind of like whatever.
Kind of background sort of characters.
Yeah, a little bit. Like they try and like bring them out a little bit, like give them a little something. And like we can talk about it much more in depth once you've seen it, because like that is the kind of problem with the movie is these characters and what ends up becoming of them and what they do and stuff like that. So, but again, not a bad movie. Like I enjoyed. Like honestly, I think I would enjoy it much more than the average person just because it's Poirot.
Of course.
So like my girlfriend who I watched it with, she was not like she liked it, but she did say that the first one was way better, and I agree, but I think I liked it more than she did.
Okay, yeah, because you have that Poirot love.
I do have that Poirot love. There's, I'll say, and again, not to spoil you, but there is an unhinged Poirot in this movie.
Is this the part in the trailer where he shoots a gun on the deck of the boat? He's like, "Everyone, shut the fuck up! I'm about to do some detecting." Unhinged Poirot.
I like how like your Batman review was very like in depth and like stuff like that. This is me just teasing things you'll see, but I'm about to hit you with another tease.
Oh, ooh.
There is in fact a stash origin story.
No, a twirly little stash origin story.
A twirly stash origin story.
So, do you think this is a front runner for Stash of the Year coming up? In
There's no way it wouldn't
10
win.
months. Okay.
In about 10 months' time.
Damn.
I mean,
okay.
There's no way it won't win.
So overall quality, okay, but not amazing.
I'd say okay,
But-
but not amazing. Acting,
in terms of-
not as good either, and like more predictable than the first one, I'd say. But
But in terms
still
of
a decent
Poirotness,
and also
Great
it
stuff.
also in a way that both works, but it's also slightly like off-putting, like the
the Stash
actual,
origin story.
the actual murder and the actual murder and stuff doesn't happen until pretty late in the movie, where I think it could happen earlier to get some more detecting skills.
Oh,
because there's way less detecting in this one than there is in the first one.
that's lame. That's literally the whole point.
Yeah, he's literally the best detective in the world.
Yeah, as opposed
maybe he's so good that he needs to do like little to no detecting and still just knows.
they had to save it for the last 5 minutes because he would figure it out immediately. Damn. All right, well, fair enough. I actually have a little predicament here. So I do think I will be going with company to a movie coming up in the next couple of days, and I am genuinely stuck between Death on the Nile and Dog. What are we?
Oh, I'm gonna watch Dog next weekend, probably.
So what do we think? If I only can see one? Also, I may or may not be forced to go see Sing 2 instead of either of them, which would be the most disappointing fucking.
If you do that, I'd say just sneakily say you bought tickets for both of you, and then buy her a Sing ticket, and then buy yourself a Dog ticket, and then you just split ways.
And like 8 friends of mine a Dog ticket, and then we just entourage rolls in, and she goes to see Sing 2. Also, but there's also Uncharted. Damn, I actually
Uncharted's not great.
Have you seen Uncharted?
Oh, have I not talked about Uncharted? Oh,
Fuck,
I'm so bad on this pod.
Damn, okay, so either Death in the Nile or Dog. Ooh. Alright, I'll keep you updated.
Well,
I guess Death in the Nile kind of needs to happen.
Yeah.
Alright, now it is time for...
the Cnews.
Ben Stiller confirms that Les Grossman was entirely invented by Tom Cruise. Someone handed him a Diet Coke and then he just started moving, said the Tropic Thunder actor from Esquire.
But he there's no props or makeup on him. That's just how he looked at the time.
he was going through a bit of a period, you know. Okay.
It was like a 3-week phase of just strangeness.
I mean, cool, I guess. It's
yeah. I mean, I didn't know that he came up with the idea, but I didn't know it was fully his idea. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was more something that they approached him with, and he was like, "This would be funny."
Give me hairy hands.
So I guess that's how it did happen. Also, I like how I have a slightly more demonic laugh than my fake Tom Cruise laugh. But yeah, good for Cruise, I guess.
Yeah.
Now on to the announcements and such. What do we have here? First of all, we have...
This is recorded on March 5th, by the way.
Yeah, so we're going to go through a lot of comments because we missed last week's. But first, there was Movie Guy sent in a clip from Brooklyn Nine-Nine where some characters say Danish is a garbage language.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's the Swedish police. They're like,
yeah.
Except for Danish. It's a garbage language for garbage people. Come on, guys.
So I was deeply...
You're the garbage people, Sweden.
Yeah, I've actually told whenever like I talk to people about being Danish, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like I have a friend who lives in Sweden." I'm like, "Don't talk to me about Sweden. We have a deep-seated rivalry with Sweden."
There's a guy on the Frisbee team who the first week he was new. It sounds really lame, and it was a little bit. But we had like a name drill, where it's like just to kind of like get to know people's names. It'd be like you say their name and then where they're from.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, "Yo, Freddie, the Swede," and I was about to explode with anger.
That is a crime to call a Danish man that. How dare you?
Yeah.
Unless like Sweden is in the Olympics or something, and we aren't, and then we just root for the Scandinavians. But
yeah, exactly. Or like Eurovision, but otherwise, it's kind of like you. I'm the only one who's allowed to hit my brother. You know?
Yeah. Like, my brother being the entire country of Sweden.
Yeah.
Then there was
I love him and I hate him. I mainly hate him.
There was a comment on my latest Beach Hill Hudson vid, which I just thought you'd appreciate. Because normally, if this was in the pod, I feel like this would be like an ironic kind of funny thing. I think this is an entirely genuine interaction here that I thought you'd enjoy. So ZJ13Goat says, "You know that day is great when BHL Hudson uploads a video." Nice comment. Very nice. Then Sarthak replies, "All right, that's a bit of an exaggeration." And then, at the very end, Blunt Eastwood, and I believe this is entirely unironically, writes, "Who's BHL Hudson?" So I just thought that was a delightful little back and forth that they had there. Then some comments. So we didn't go through the comments on the surprisingly very well doing Pod 124 movie franchise that need to end. So let's do that now.
Let's do it.
ZJ says, "Nice way to start off my weekend." Michael Scarn, I very much enjoyed this interaction as well. Michael says, honestly, I think the Poorly Planned Podcast franchise needs to die. The storylines are getting stale, and too much reliance is used on having a CGI Freddy recreated. Disrespectful. Joe says, I agree. BHL says they talk about movies, TV shows, and a bunch of nonsense, but now they're just nonsense. ... What a joke. Movie Guy says Lele and Yassine should reboot the Poorly Planned Podcast. Cal says the spin-off The Planned Podcast was awful too. Just BHL and a puppet version of Freddy voiced by Frank Oz talking about the stock market or something. Rip Freddy though. Okay. A shame he died from being mauled by Channing Tatum. Joe says that's what happens when he's macho hungry. Movie Guy says we were promised a can full of fun, but they delivered a can that was empty. The Poorly Planned Podcast, what a joke. And Kean says Flag was right. The Poorly Planned Podcast. What a jovial point in time. What a madness of a comment section. This is just
what an absolute fever dream of a comment chain. I love it. I did go back and read these before, so that's why I'm not laughing as hard. But like when I read them the first time, I genuinely sat in the bus, just like I think tears were rolling down my face because it was so funny. I love that people are just
we have
right on board with the humor.
I can't believe that like we've found people who get on board with this horrificness that we do on the pod, but it's very wonderful.
It's so good.
Josie's
what a jovial part in time.
Josie says, I think Rocky needs to end after 3'd. I kind of agree. I think it maybe should have ended after 2. And he says, the Ghostbusters, the Sorry Harold bit was one of the most tasteful and hilarious bits you've probably ever done. Kian GC Green says, I think that uncensoring the pod is actually extremely disrespectful to all of your 2-year-old fans that listen in each Friday. Way to alienate your audience. Yeah, that's fair. I was asked by a friend, she was like, how old is your audience in the pod? And I was like, I don't really know. Like, we are uncensoring it now. And we did I don't know if I cut it out, but we did do a whole bit about Dumbledore getting a hand job. So, like, I hope, not that young.
It better stay in. It better stay in.
I'm assuming, like, teens to...
Well, the thing is, like,
20s.
most people that are with us now have been with us from the beginning, I assume.
That's true,
We're,
yeah.
like, somewhere close to the beginning. And we've been running this for 6 years now?
Coming up in 5 years pretty soon.
Yeah, like, so they probably wouldn't start watching if they were less than, like, 10, right?
Yeah, no. We don't. I don't think we have any kids. If you're less than 10 and listening to this, thanks for the view, I guess, but also... It's a little inappropriate, so don't do that. Show it to your dad instead, and he'll love it.
He'll love it.
Kean says, the Poorly Planned Podcast, what a humorous event. Joe says, the Poorly Planned Podcast, what an amusing experience. Movie Guy says, the Poorly Planned Podcast, what a Fidalgard. I mean, my God. This is why this episode did so well, because it was boosting the algorithm by, like, the hundreds of comments, and I love it. Please do it again.
Oh, it's brilliant.
JD, there's nothing like a new Poorly Planned pod episode to bring me some joy while I work a 9-hour shift.
Damn. That shouldn't be legal.
Yeah, I think happy we can help with that.
For like young people, 8 hours is maximum.
Yeah.
Like legal.
So that is rough, but keep at it. I'm happy we can help, and I'm sorry. And also, your 9-hour job, very hard, but also what a joke of a concept. But I'm happy we can help.
Your 9-hour job? What a joke.
Your job isn't a joke, I'm just saying. You're doing... Keep it up. I don't know.
What you're doing to provide for your family? What a humorous event.
That's not what I'm saying. I've lost the plot here. These comments
That's
are throwing
totally
me off.
what he was saying.
But I'm glad we can help. Jaden, I have a job working in cinema, and every time I see the dog trailer, I burst out laughing, especially the scene where Tatum and Dog are in the bathtub, knowing that later on in the film, Tatum will be crawling on all fours hunting for the dog, which I love.
I love the fact that he says knowing, as if it's fact and it's happening.
As if it's a prophecy. Cal says, Channing Tatum's in my house, please send help. And Michael Scarn says, show him a Marvel movie, thus traumatizing him. Quote, this is not a joke. Look up Channing Tatum Marvel traumatized. I did look this up, and apparently because his Gambit movie never got made, he genuinely hates watching Marvel movies now. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I guess that's, yeah. Sorry, Tatum. Daniel says, another really fun and enjoyable episode, and I agree with most of your picks about franchise need to end. Great episode as always. Keep up the great work. P.S. Peacemaker, what a joke. I just have to throw it on there at the end. Thank you, thank you, Daniel.
Thanks, Daniel. I do.
Delix says,
so
the Pirates movies do need to end. Anson says, God fucking damn it. Anson says, Harmony Creator, what a string of words designed for the express purpose of bringing about laughter. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be sorry. Actually, maybe you should.
Actually, don't ever be sorry.
But but just keep doing it.
Harmony creator.
Let's see how far we can push this. But thank you.
Yeah, guys, just keep going. Keep going.
And he also says the Ghostbusters Afterlife saga has officially peaked in spectacular, insensitive, but hilarious fashion. Amazing segment as always. Thank you. And Movie Boy says you should do favorite and least favorite TV shows, also about the Disney Renaissance films. Both great ideas. I'm going to throw those in the idea bucket right now. By bucket, I mean Google Doc. So that was all on 124. And then you were right. Pod 125 is doing stinkily. In fact, as opposed to 500 views the other one has, it has 58 views currently.
Really? I mean, it did go up it's been up for less than 24 hours.
True. But it did. I mean, although I think it's a great episode, the title
I don't
isn't
think
exactly
it's the most
clickable
episode we've done.
Yeah,
I don't think people go to watch that.
I did sneakily clickbait the thumbnail, though, by putting in... Because, I mean, technically we mentioned Jamie Foxx, so I put in Bats from Baby Driver, and technically we talk about Brenton Thwaites, so I did put in Nightwing from Titans. But, cool. Yeah. But let's see the comments here. ZJ, love seeing them do the Tom Cnews I sent in, and also I got 9 right. Pretty good. I don't remember how many we did, but that's pretty good. Kian says, no announcements and such. What a joke. Fair. Yeah, I hope we made up for it this time. Movie Guy says, this was actually a really unique idea. Great work, Freddie. I think that's a little too nice. Daniel says...
I think that's also... I don't know if that's... it wasn't that hard of an idea to come up with. I feel like it's a little patronizing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you tried, Freddie. It's good work.
Good job. You got 58 views.
You fucking loser. No, Movie Guy's so nice for that. Daniel, another really enjoyable and different episode. Keep up the great work. P.S. I got around 3 right. The governor one really threw me off. Fair enough. I appreciate the honesty. Again, I don't remember how many we did. I'm going to assume it was 4. And somehow ZJ got 9 of them right. And finally...
I think I did 8, you did 7. So 15. Oh.
So 3 is... Well, I mean... at least you tried. I'm glad you enjoyed the episode, Daniel. I mean, 3 out of 15 is not a passing grade, but... I'm glad you enjoyed it, and thank you for the support, Daniel.
It is,
Daniel's like our most supportive fan, and then like, and I'm like, so you didn't do great in this one, but
keep it up.
No, thank you, Daniel. And then finally, Josie says, here's a true or false question for BHL and Freddie to figure out. I love little mini games like this. Number 1, I actually met Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson during the Ghostbusters Afterlife premiere and took a picture with them. Or 2, Brenton Thwaites is coming to my Comic-Con, and the picture they used of him looks like a mugshot and it's the funniest thing ever. I will send you the real answer next week.
Ooh. That is quite good.
The Thwaites one is more probable, and I feel like he could send us the actual picture of Thwaites looking like a mugshot man. But also... Yeah. I mean, it's not impossible to meet Bill Murray, I suppose, technically. I'm going to say the Thwaites one is true, and I look forward to...
I'm also going to go with Thwaites.
Hearing the answer. And then finally, we have 2 things from the fan page. It's a picture of John Cena. It says, top text, what a joke. And then also... And this is a weirdly wholesome meme, but I really enjoyed this. The scene from Dune, where Timothée Chalamet, labeled a quiz episode, says, what if I'm not good enough?
Oh, I did see this.
And Oscar Isaac says, then you'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be. The Poorly Planned Podcast. I fucking love that.
That's so wholesome.
It's really wholesome and also hilarious. Also, it's been so long since we did a quiz episode. I feel like we've earned it. Although the last one kind of was a quiz episode, if you think about it.
True. We might do another one, though.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, wow, we've been recording for a while. I have to go to the gym. Oh, shit. Okay, so...
Yeah, I have to go to an 8-hour tournament. Fuck.
So, thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and leave a comment on what you thought about this down below. Also, if you're listening on the other things, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, leave a 5-star rating, please. It would mean a lot to us. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudson@gmail.com.
Damn, Eminem. Okay, you can find me on Twitter at FDK_Dalston.
And then the other Eminem comes in.
That's Marshall Mathers enters. Instagram at Fidalgard and on YouTube at FDK Space Gaming.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Dumbledore.